Hello everybody, Stevie here from Never Too Late to Travel. Well, sadly today our short break here on the island of Koh Tao has sadly come to an end, and we're now here at Koh Tao ferry port waiting for the ferry to take us back to Chumphon. We do have one night in Chumphon before we get the flight the next day back to Ta Euang. And we've got about 2 hours here waiting for the ferry. So I thought it'd be a good idea to have a little walk around the immediate vicinity of the ferry area, and I hope you'll find it an interesting little walk. I personally haven't been to this area since I've arrived. We've mainly stayed in the resort and just enjoyed ourselves in the immediate area. So with that folks, let's get going. I'll just give you a quick walk around while we're waiting for the ferry. So as you can see in this area, it is quite a thriving site. Lots of people coming in mainly to go on the snorkeling and the diving boats, and obviously they've pre-booked those. And as we go through this archway here with the signs there of Koh Tao on the right hand side, you'll come across the waiting area for the ferry. It's not a particularly big town around the port area, but there is lots and lots of amenities. There's plenty of little bars, restaurants, and for shopping you'll find most of the stuff that you require, although it will be a little bit more expensive than being on the mainland. So just walking along the quayside here, you've got a number of dive shops. And on the left hand side you've got some of the other boats that come in, mainly cargo stuff, and they unload materials either for building or goods for shops and other entities that are resident on the island. At the moment it looks like they're unloading construction materials. And obviously being an island, everything has to come in by boat, so it tends to be expensive anyway. But even here in the harbour area you can see that the water is very, very clean. If you stand above on the quayside and look down, you can see all the little fishes clearly in the water. It's a really, really beautiful island. I say we really enjoyed our stay at the Mandalay Beach Resort and Dive Centre. Absolutely spectacular views out to sea. Absolutely stunning scenery all over the island. So if you're into photography and videos guys, you certainly won't be disappointed here. One of the traditional longboats there, and I must say in very, very good condition. It's probably been recently renovated, this one, and just been stored up high on the beach to protect it from the water for the time being. Quite a lot of motorbikes in this area. I would imagine that most of them are for the crews, for the vessels, and there may be a few motorbikes that the tourists have actually travelled down from the hotels on. But all in all, I think they're mainly staff motorbikes. Seen a lot of younger tourists here in the town. Can't say that I'm really impressed with the behaviour of some of them, because the sois here, or the little tiny streets, are so narrow, and they just race up and down, no helmet, and go as fast as they can, and it's not a really pleasant place to walk around. Here on the right hand side we have one of the squid fishing boats, and you're always better to tell a squid fishing boat by the number of light bulbs on masts above the decks there. We'll try and get you a closer look at the size of the boats. They're quite impressive actually. What they do, they go out to sea at night time, and they have a sequence of lights. They show I think it's like a warm yellow or a white at the beginning, and they keep that on for about an hour or so, and then they change colour to a green, and all the squid rise to the surface to see what the problem is, and then they get scooped off the top. Can't remember the exact sequence of the colours. It might be yellow and green, or it might be green first then yellow after. If in the likes of Chumphon you look out to sea, you'll see lots of boats with little green lights out in the distance, and they're all squid fishing boats. Get more clients here that are going for diving, joining the dive boat there on the left hand side. I think quite a few people will go down there already. Koh Tao now is one of the most recognised dive sites in the world. It's got a very good reputation for diving wherever you might be, and people come from all over the world to explore the diving sites around the island. And this is a close-up of the squid fishing boat, and you can clearly see the large bulbs on top of the mass above the boat there. Sometimes you'll see them washed up on the beach, where the fishermen have had one that's broken, and they replace it, and they just toss the bulb overboard, unfortunately, and they get washed up sometimes. But I must say, this squid boat's in immaculate order. It looks very well maintained and very clean and tidy. I would like one time to actually go out on one of these small fishing boats, as long as it's not going too far, but I think the chances of actually getting a ride out and joining them for a day are pretty remote, to be honest. The fishermen don't really like anybody, especially foreigners, on their boats at all. Now this diving boat's getting filled up with clients, so I would imagine that it'll be getting underway soon. You know, when people are going diving, they get very impatient to get underway and get in the water. And after all, that's what they paid for, and they travel some considerable miles to get here sometimes. Some people coming from other parts of the world just purely for the experience of diving on Koh Tao. And for saying that Koh Tao is a relatively new island compared to many that are in Thailand, it's quite astounding actually how it's developed over the years. Originally it started out as a prison island, I believe, for political prisoners. And I don't think it was until after the 1980s that when they abolished the prisons on the island that the tourism industry kicked off. Now the dive boat here with all the cylinders all lined up for the day's dive. I think it's fair to say that most of the dive boats are owned by the particular dive shop. They're not leased out and rented. Another fantastic view there at the back of the boat, and you can see how well this boat's been maintained. So we'll head up the gangway here and back to the quayside, and we're going to do a right, and hopefully I'll show you a little bit of the shops in the immediate area, virtually at the back of where you would wait for the ferry back to Chumphon, and you'll see for yourself. There's lots of little restaurants, there's Amazon coffee, there's 7-Elevens, many sandwich shops and places to eat and drink, so you're not going to be stuck for anything, guys, if you're here for a couple of hours waiting for the ferry. So this brown roof building here in front of us is actually where you actually wait for the ferry. And if you walk through there and take a left, it'll bring you on the little soys at the back of the ferry terminal, and that's where you'll find all your little shops, your restaurants, your Amazon coffee, and if you need to buy anything else, I'm sure that you'll find it along that little road at the back. So here we are, guys. This is the little soy that I was telling you about, just at the back of the ferry terminal and the waiting area. And as I said previously, you'll find most of the stuff that you want along this little road. You won't have to walk too far, but I'm sure you'll find everything that you want, that you'd want. In fact, just a little bit further up on the right hand side, absolutely fantastic little sandwich shop, but be prepared to wait because it's a very, very popular place. And now, unfortunately, we've got a bit of rain coming down, so having to wipe the camera lens. It's not raining by any standards, but these little drops that you get on your lens really do cause havoc with your filming. So this video is not an introduction to Koh Tao island town. It's just to give you a little bit of a walk around the immediate area of the ferry port if you're stuck here for a couple of hours waiting for a boat back to the mainland. And I'm sure that you'll agree with me, it's got everything here that you would want. So with that little walk around the soy at the back of the ferry terminal, It now brings us back to the main waiting area, so nothing else to do but sit and wait for the next hour or so, and hopefully we'll be on our way to Chumphon. A few more little boats out there waiting for clients to join, some of them diving boats, some of them for snorkeling, and I think another one there that takes you around various islands. So with that, my friends, please don't forget to like, leave comments and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my trips and journeys around Thailand, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, bye bye.